Nick right now joining us. Let's shift gears. A co-host First Things First. So I thought it's interesting. I was talking about this yesterday, and you do your celebrity club stuff and your tiers for players. And I said, I got
celebrity club.
What do you call it? What is it called?
Club superstars. Okay. Celebrities are who you have drinks with, out in L.A. at Javier's. NBA superstars is what we talk about in gritty New York City afternoon sports talk. But go right ahead.
Okay. So and I put the 10 guys in the league, and I think playoff performance matters. And I said the one guy I can't quite figure out is Jimmy Butler. I don't think he's one of the 10 most talented players. I don't think he's one of the 10 most gifted. But he literally, if you said Game 7, fourth quarter, who do you want in the league? I'd be like, Steph, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
like
there's not many more.
Like
right,
what?
Talent's overrated, Colin. Colin, in our business, talent's overrated. What you know what's underrated? What works. What gets it done? And I know that sounds kind of like an old school, almost malapropism, but it's not. Like, I have heard for 2 months how untalented the Heat are, which either means the talent evaluators are wrong, or talent is not what wins, or talent is overrated. I'm going to give you a few Jimmy Butler stats, and then I want to ask you a question. Since Jimmy Butler joined the Miami Heat lead the entire NBA in playoff wins. Think about that.
Wow.
Over the last 4 years, no team has more wins than Jimmy Butler's Heat. Over the last 4 years, no one has more 40-point games in the playoffs than Jimmy Butler. Over the last 4 years, only Nikola Jokic has more 30-point triple-doubles in the playoffs than Jimmy Butler. And he's doing it without stars around him. So here is what I would say. I would say Jokic, Giannis, and Steph are, if we are saying who you want for the postseason, those guys are your top 3 in some order. Jimmy Butler, along with, in my opinion, LeBron, Devin Booker, KD, and Luka, are that next group. Like, now, how do you rank them? 4, 5, 6, 7? We can discuss it. But how could anyone argue that when it comes to the postseason, they would rather have Joel Embiid, that they would rather have any of those other guys who have not shown the ability to raise their game in these moments? And so if Jimmy Butler is not a top 5 player in basketball, fine. Is he a top 5 playoff player? Absolutely he is. And he takes what your guy Draymond Green first talked about to its furthest logical conclusion. 82-game players and 16-game players. Now, the best in league history are both great regular seasons and raise their game in the playoffs. Steph does that. LeBron does that. Jokic is doing it right now. Giannis has done that. Jimmy, though, is the more value. If you can only have an 82-game guy like a James Harden or a 16-game guy like Jimmy Butler, obviously Jimmy Butler's more valuable.
Okay, I want to throw a football thing at you. So, it's Kansas City's the best team in the league, best quarterback, and I think best coach built for this culture. I thought Belichick was the best coach when you could grab players and hit players above the shoulders, and the world's changed. And Belichick's tone deaf to offense. And I saw this story, and I made a point of it today. Buffalo has now signed 3 defensive linemen this offseason. Ed Oliver, a nose tackle, Leonard Floyd. Still can't get the O-line right. Pittsburgh still can't get the O-line right. Belichick still can't get the offense right. And I look at this Buffalo with Josh Allen. They'd love DeAndre Hopkins. Probably won't be able to afford him. Stephon Diggs was held to 40 yards basically in a playoff game because you can double him. You can basically slide your defense over. When you look at Buffalo as a Kansas City Chief, do you even view them as a threat anymore, or are they becoming tone deaf to offense?
No, listen, I think their window will reopen again at some point in the future, but I think they missed their window with this iteration of the team in those 13 seconds. The time to get Kansas City was when they got them. They were leading a playoff game in Arrowhead with 13 seconds to go, and they let go of the rope. And last year they were worse than that, and I don't know why next year we expect them to be better. I said something on the TV show yesterday that my colleagues across the table scoffed at, laughed at. Honestly, Colin, they were downright rude to me.
Yeah.
But I think you'll agree with me. Maybe. Who is better positioned for this upcoming season? The Jacksonville Jaguars or the Buffalo Bills?
Jags.
So let's go through it.
Yeah.
Yes. So last year, they both won their division. They both had a Pro Bowler at quarterback. They both won a playoff game and then lost a playoff game. The Jags' playoff win was a stirring comeback against a very good Charger team and then a road playoff loss to the champs by 7. The Bills' playoff story was escaping against Skylar Thompson and then following that up with getting blown out at home by Cincinnati. So that's last year. Now this year, the Jags are in the best possible division you can be in with a quarterback who is clearly ascending. The Bills are maybe in the toughest division in football with a quarterback that's been, as I've said, up and down, game to game, week to week, quarter to quarter, year to year. They're changing their defensive coordinator. There's questions to me about that offensive coordinator post-Dable. Like, to me, the Chiefs are a clear 1. Cincinnati has earned the right to be a clear 2. And then Jacksonville, Baltimore, Buffalo are all in a group. But the Bills have just gotten this. I mean, you know who's on the cover of Madden this year, Colin?
Who?
Josh Allen. He can hang that with his banners for, September champs and throw the football out of the stadium. Like, there's a lot of hype surrounding Buffalo every year that they have yet to earn, in my opinion.
I want to circle back to the NBA. So there was a story of, obviously, Kyrie or somebody connected to Kyrie gave to Shams or Chris Haynes that he wants LeBron to go to Dallas. Unlikely, but I thought if I was LeBron, I'd sit and listen, talk it over with my wife, glass of wine. It's interesting. Play with Luka, who can play 70 games. LeBron now has to have teammates that can play 70 games. Because AD doesn't, and you just get to a point where if AD goes down, LeBron at his age has to play 40 minutes. It doesn't work that way. But I will say this. I do think Kyrie would make the Lakers better. But immediately on that story, the Lakers immediately leaked this. The Lakers maintained on Monday, not interested in adding Kyrie. Is this Jeannie and Rob Pelinka saying, no. We're not giving you the franchise. We're slowly taking it back. What do you think that means, an immediate leak to their sources, we're not interested in the Kyrie business?
Well, I think that's smart. So first, let's talk about the LeBron to Dallas part of it. It's one of those things, Colin, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like if I were to leak to a reporter, I want to add Colin Cowherd to First Things First. Sounds great. Great chemistry between us. Can't fit it under the cap. I know you say that we have a show with unlimited budget. They're like, hey, add Colin. It'd be wonderful. That'd be fun. There's no way to make the money work there, unfortunately. Like the idea, I read this story, the initial story, and it's one of the most curious stories I've ever read. It had in there this line that the Mavs were considering trying to trade for LeBron last year when the Lakers were struggling, which is fascinating because LeBron was literally ineligible to be traded last year. The CBA wouldn't allow it because of when he signed his contract. They then added a line to the story that said, even though LeBron was ineligible. So what type of meeting is that? I'm just curious. Hey, guys, you want to trade for LeBron? Yeah, I want to trade for LeBron. And just some guy in the corner with the CBA is like, fellas, we're not allowed to. They're like, okay, cool, meeting over. So I didn't understand that. Then it said the easiest way for LeBron to get to Dallas was if he was bought out by the Lakers. I don't think Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka are the best executives in basketball, but I do think that if they're faced with the choice of, we could pay LeBron James $45 million to play basketball for us or $40 million to not play basketball for us, I think they're going to choose door number 1. So there is no way for LeBron to get to the Mavs this year. So why did this story come out? there's two schools of thought here. One is Kyrie's like, hey, I'm trying to bring you to me. Can you try to bring me to you? Like, can if it won't work out here, and that's where I was leaning initially. But I actually think it's more about Kyrie trying to secure a long-term contract from the Mavericks by showing, guys, this is how all in I am. I will recruit for you. And maybe we can't bring LeBron now, but in a year, maybe we could. So I think the Lakers are smart to not want to be in the Kyrie business. I think LeBron has a blind spot for him because 7 years ago they won a title together and he likes the talent. I would not bring Kyrie to Los Angeles, but what I would say is this. A year from now, is there a scenario where I could see LeBron surveying the landscape if Bronny's not one and done and he's going to spend another year in school and is like, okay, I can pick my team, that the Mavs could be on his list of options when he has said Luka's, his favorite player to watch in the league and things like that? Yeah, I think a year from now this is possible. I think right now Kyrie's going to be a Mav, LeBron's going to be a Laker, and that's about the end of it.
He is the co-host, the star of First Things First, a show he's on now, and hopefully
Kevin
for a long time. Despite what you read, hopefully he's on that show for a long time.
Are people reading? I don't even know what you're referring to, Colin. I have no idea. I mean, they'll put anything on the internet these days, my friends. That's what I've heard. Just anything will go on the internet. And I hope someone puts on the internet, I am recruiting Colin Cowherd to First Things First. I am. Listen, you're going to have to take a buyout and a bit of a pay cut, but it'd be great. You got to move cross country. Just come on. Love to have you.
That's all. Good seeing you, buddy.
See ya. Bye.